Hello, good evening everyone. I am Bhairavi, educator, life coach and healer. Today we are going to discuss on topic in education. Why intelligent children still struggle in exam. They are not lazy. Before I begin, let's look at from where you are. You just type in the chat from where place you have joined, which place you have joined. Let's start begin with this topic. As a parents, you may have experience that my child is intelligent, but I don't know why they does not score well in the exam. I have heard from some parents, my child is very intelligent. He or she knows well. If I ask any question at home, they know everything. But I don't know what happened during the exam. They are blank. She is blank. He is blank. What should I do? Or as a teacher, you may have experience. There are few students, they are intelligent. They give all the answer when you ask in the class, but they underperform the test or maybe unit test or final exam. If this sound familiar for you, please type yes in the chat because today live is especially addressing all these things, all this point. As I said, most intelligent children who struggle in exam are not lazy. But why we label these children when they perform less, careless, irresponsible, not serious, right? But actually, they are not careless, they are not irresponsible, and they are definitely not lacking the ability. But still, we as a parent and teacher, we label them all these things. But do we know that this label damage their identity and their behavior? As an educator and someone who has worked very closely with children, parents, and teachers for decades, I have seen this pattern again and again. Bright children, curious children, children with immense potential, freezing in exam, going blank, making silly mistake. Like in maths, I can give you example. Silly mistake. Instead of 36, they write 63. When there is a multiplication, sometimes they do division. Right. So Though there is a ability, but they don't perform, and we label them irresponsible, sometimes lazy, right? Sounds familiar? And the more this happen, more label they receive. Lazy, careless, not serious, distracted, right? But what if I told you that this label are actually programming this problem more deeper? Today's talk is not about blaming parents or teachers. We all doing our best with the awareness we have. But this session is about understanding why it's really happening and exactly what is happening inside the child mind and how we can change that without pressure, fear, or burnout. Now let's look at the real reasons intelligent children why intelligent children struggle. So there are we will cover some points. So first of all, there is a fear of failure, and that fear of failure creates some thoughts in their mind. What if I disappoint my parents or teacher? That is the first. Many intelligent children and students don't fear the exam paper, but they fear the emotional consequences of the result. They are constantly asking inside, what will my parent say? Will my teacher think about my less mark if I'll get less mark? Will I be will I be compared again with my co-student, my classmates? For these children, exams stop being a test of knowledge and become test of love, approval, and acceptance. When the brain senses emotional threat, it shifts into survival mode. And in survival mode, brain does not perform, it protects. So fear narrows thinking, memory access reduce, even well prepared exam don't come out while writing the answer. Second point, while exam, their state of anxiety, same child, same syllabus, different emotional state, and different result. You might have noticed when you take revision at home, the child explain everything perfectly. In tuition, they answer confidently. In class, they answer confidently. But in the exam hall, they become a blank. This happened because Performance depend on emotional state, not the intelligence. The exam hall trigger time pressure, silence, expectation, past failure stored in their memory. All these signals tell nervous system danger. And when anxiety kicks in, their mind, breathing becomes shallow, heart rate increase, memory retry, shut down. You cannot access calm recall from an anxious state, correct? Overthinking and perfections. This is a third point why it's happening. Intelligent children think too much during exam. Highly intelligent children often want to get everything right, perfect, and precise. They don't just answer the question, sometimes they overanalyze. Is that what the examiner wants? What if answer is wrong? Should I write more or less? This constant mental checking create hesitation. They know the answer, but there is a back of mind second guess themselves, stop their memory. Perfection create mental noise, and clarity cannot exist in the noisy mind. I would like to give you one real example of one of my student. There was a final exam and maths paper was there, and in the higher level, and you will surprise that during the prelims he got 85 marks, 85 percentage, including paper part A and part B. And what happened in the question paper, there was a part A and part B. What he did, he solved part A completely, and suddenly he thought, have I done some mistake? He cancelled whatever he has written, part A, and he resolved the part A and part B, and then so he has a less time to solve part B. So it was not that he didn't know the answer. He was the one of the genius student in the class. He always stood among first three students, but still he did that mistake. And what the result was, in final exam he scored only 75% in maths because of all this mental chaos, internal noise. Now the last, the subconscious pressure. We know there is a one myth, mark is equal to my worth, and that gets very deeply in most of the student. This is the most dangerous and invisible block. When children repeatedly listen that marks are everything, your future depend on this exam. Look at other. See how well they are scoring. How the neighbor person who is studying in your class, how he is getting very good mark. See your classmate and their subconscious absorb one belief. If I score, I am good. If I score, I am not enough. Now, the exam is no longer about mark. It is about identity. And when identity is took over, fear will be there. The subconscious cannot separate the performance from self-worth unless it guided properly. Let's see difference between learning state versus performance state. Tuition help learning but not exam recall. We need to teach them simple mindful technique, NLP technique, so that they can know how to shut down stress and recall the memory. Because always stress and fear shut down memory access. Sometimes it happen in stress or tension if some known person come in front of us in maybe airport or maybe hotel or cinema hall, we are in the rush, we forgot the name. Took time to recall. The same mechanism happen in exam. So common mistake we do as a parents and teachers when they got less mark, we punish harder from home and from school also. Write down 5 times, 10 times. Compare with sibling, neighbors, or classmate. Last minute pressure. If you will get good mark, I will give you some gift. If you will not get a good mark, you will get punished. And that reward and punish cycle is going on and on. So pressure may increase study hour, but reduce performance and reduce performance quality also. Image a child who studied with calm and focus and enters in exam hall without panic, recall answer naturally, performance to potential without burnout. This is not magic. This is emotional regulation plus NLP based mental conditioning. We have a program called Raising Resilient Learner for parents and teachers. Let me tell you briefly about this program, what it is actually solve and what truly its change. This program is for parents and teachers who can clearly see that their children or student is intelligent. They understand concept. They want to do well. But despite all this, something is blocking their performance. It is especially for parents who are worried but don't want to pressure their child. Teachers who feel helpless seeing capable student but they underperform. Adults who believe children don't need more fear, they need better guidance. And very important, this program is for adults who are ready to change their approach, not blame the child. Now look at what this program solves. This program doesn't focus on forcing study, increasing tuition hour, strict discipline, motivation through fear. No. But what exactly solve the problem? In this program, we work on exam fear and performance anxiety, mental blocks that actual blankouts, low confidence despite high intelligence, emotional overwhelmed and burnout, negative self-talk which is silently running in the child's mind. Because unless the emotional and subconscious block are addressed, no amount of intelligence can show up during the exam. What changed this after the program? This is most beautiful part. After applying what you learn here, the change is not just in the mark, change in the child's inner world. You can start noticing a calmer, more focused child, reduce resistance to study, improve memory recall in exam, confident replacing fear, effort without emotional exaggeration, and for parents and teachers, you stop feeling anxious, frustrated, and guilty. You stop punishing and start guiding. You begin to communicate in the way that regulates the child's nervous system instead of triggering panic. This is not motivational program. This is not a theory. This is an applied NLP design for real home, real classroom, and real exam pressure. And when the inner state changes, performance follow naturally. If you want to know more about this, DM Resilient. We will contact you. Thank you so much for your patience. We will meet again with new subject next Friday.